My name's Ben, and this is my solution for the Pokedex problem for the CS50 iOS track P set at Yale University. So, if you notice here on the Pokedex app, the initial screen, we have all of the Pokemon listed out. But this can be a little inconvenient if you want to search for just one particular Pokemon. So, for example, we can search for everyone's favorite Pokemon right here. So there it is. We can also search for a substring of characters contained within the name of a Pokemon. So, for example, here I type in PO, and we get every Pokemon that contains a PO in its name. And if you notice, it's case insensitive, so PO with a capital P matches both Metapod and Poliwag. Then within every individual Pokemon, you can click on it to get some more information. So Metapod has an ID number of 11. Here's Metapod right here. It's a bug type, and this is a little text blurb about Metapod, which is unique to it. And this catch button down here, which we'll get to in a bit. And you'll notice if I click on another Pokemon, like Slowpoke, all of the information is totally different. Slowpoke actually has two types, Water and Psychic, so they're both displayed, whereas Metapod only had one. And finally, there's this, every Pokemon has this option to toggle between catching it and releasing it. So at the moment, Metapod, you can think of it as being uncaught, because we have the option to catch it right here. So we can click this and now it's caught, and then we have the option to release it, so you can toggle back and forth. And one thing that's about this application is that the state of whether or not a Pokemon is caught or not will actually be saved from one session of the app to another. So this is obviously useful because if this were a real iOS application, you would want to be able to say whether or not a Pokemon is caught, even if the user quits the app. So for example, just to demonstrate this, let's set the states of a few different Pokemon. So Metapod will say is released. Poliwag will actually catch it, so we'll just catch it like that. Poliwhirl will also catch, and Poliwrath, we can release it. So these two are uncaught, so they're going to display catch, and these two are caught, so they're going to display release. Now if we come over here and we quit the app, and then restart it, it'll take a few seconds to start back up. Go here. And when it restarts, you'll notice that the state of whether or not Pokemon is caught or not will be saved. So let's open it back up. Pokedex. And now if we search, remember Metapod is uncaught, Poliwag is caught, Poliwhirl also caught, and Poliwrath is uncaught. And you can do this for any Pokemon you want. So yeah, that's about it. So thank you for watching.